So we had to leave our homework on the table. Straight square business. We had to leave our homework on the table for my mom to come home, and my mom would check our homework and tell us what corrections need to be made before she went to bed. We would wake up about 30, 45 minutes before, if there were some corrections that need to be made, and we would do homework with my mom. My mom retired as a financial officer, an accountant. My mom's an accountant by trade, and math was her thing. So if I did a math problem, we almost had a knockdown, drag out about 2 and 3 digit multiplication. But if I did the problem wrong, my mom was like, okay, she needs some more practice. So, hey, I'm waking you up 30 minutes earlier. I need you to, my mama would write a whole new set of problems for me to practice on, because she would say, this is where you made your mistake. This is what we're going to do. But those were the roles. And on the weekends, when my dad was at his full-time job, his second job, my mom would do the heavy soul food cooking and the making sure our clothes are washed and ready for the week to make things easier for my dad. But it's definitely shared responsibilities in my household with my mom and my dad. And I was raised by both my parents.
Wow.
Yeah.
This what I'm talking about, right?
Okay.
You feeling all right?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Look, we right there. Beautiful people, it's your host Drake B. Drake with Everythang Culture, and we're back with another conversation, another Makings of You, and we're somewhere different, okay, somewhere new. We're at Lab 7 Studios. This is located in Missouri City, Texas. If you'd like to use their services, make sure to holler at us so we can holler at them, so y'all can holler at each other. But this morning, this evening, this afternoon, we have the pleasure of introducing y'all to Ridgemont4sFinest.
Hey.
How are we doing?
I'm here. What's up? We're here.
You're what's up? We're together.
We are.
Here to have a conversation all about you. Now, it's been some time.
Okay.
I've been out of town. I've been gone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back home. And you're the first in-person interview I've had since being back in Texas.
Well, hello.
So thank you.
Well, let me make you feel special. You are the first interview that I have ever done, period. What? I have been invited on several podcasts, and I have, wiggled my way out of it. You are the first one that I'm doing. So I don't know what you got planned, but here we are.
She gonna be all right. We're just gonna lock it in. This is all about you. This is gonna be the makings of you.
Okay.
So the makings of you is a conversation all about our guests. It's a deep dive interview.
Okay.
Open-ended questions. If you feel uncomfortable answering one of the questions, we can pass on to the next one.
Okay.
But this is all about you. This is something for our guests to get to know you. And when you come back on the show in the future, they have a little bit more insight about you and your perspective in life, as well as the conversations we're going to be talking about. So,
All right.
How you feeling?
I mean, here we go.
You ready?
We are.
All right, let's get into it.
I got multiple personalities. I am. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get all of them. Let's all of them come together.
Let's go. I'm ready.
So, Ridgemont4.
Yes.
How would you describe yourself?
I would describe myself as an empath. That's probably one of my fatal flaws. I'm gonna say that. Definitely a hard worker, sometimes to my own detriment. Compassionate to the death of me. Can I say that I'm a great mom? Because I am.
Absolutely.
I think I'm like the best mom ever. Because I was raised by the best mom ever. And I'm an educator, the most passionate one, sometimes, again, to my own detriment, because my passion for my purpose gets me in a lot of trouble. But, yeah, I'm here. I'm a G. I'm here.
Okay. I rock with it. What do you identify as?
A female. A woman.
Okay.
That's the question. That's the answer you want it?
This is the answer you get.
Okay.
Okay. These are open-ended. These are your responses, okay? And there's no wrong answers.
All right.
Ain't nobody can tell us about Ridgemont4 better than
Very
Ridgemont4.
good.
Okay? All right. What cultures do you represent?
Let me see how I'm gonna answer it. I'm gonna answer that one pretty. Blackity black all day long. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Okay. How would you define your childhood and upbringing?
I had the most privileged childhood and upbringing. I don't want to give you all some traumatic story about, how I had to get it out the mud and stand on my own too, because I did not. I had the best parents ever, the best support system ever, everything in life I ever wanted, even though my parents worked very, very hard. There was nothing that I could not get. Within reason, of course. I'm not saying that I lived a princess fairy tale life. My parents were hustlers, and everything that we needed, we had. Everything I wanted, there was not a way that they couldn't make sure that I could get it or provide an avenue for me to get it. So, hey.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's just what it is. It's the truth.
No, and we love it. We love it. What were the roles of your caregivers in the household?
I can't say very traditional. My dad worked. My mom worked. Both of my parents, again, had 2 jobs. My parents both worked 2 jobs until... Shit. Oh, can I curse?
Do whatever you want to do. This is your thing.
Until I was probably, off into college for sure. But my parents had shared roles as far as household responsibilities. I remember my dad's second job was on the weekend. My mom's second job was after hours. So she would work her full 9 to 5 and then work like a 6 to 11 or a 6 to 10 or something like that. So during the week, my dad was the picker up from schooler, the cook, the one that made sure we ate dinner, made sure we had our baths, made sure we did our homework. Now, he ain't checking the homework.
Okay.
But he made sure we did the homework. Now, the rule was, because no matter how tired my mama was, my mom was going to check that homework every night. So we had to leave our homework on the table. Straight square business. We had to leave our homework on the table for my mom to come home. And my mom would check our homework and tell us what corrections need to be made before she went to bed. We would wake up about 30, 45 minutes before, if there were some corrections that need to be made. And we would do homework with my mom. My mom retired as a financial officer, an accountant. My mom's an accountant by trade. And math was her thing. So if I did a math problem, we almost had a knockdown, drag out about 2 and 3 digit multiplication. But if I did the problem wrong, my mom would be like, okay, she needs some more practice. So, hey, I'm waking you up 30 minutes earlier. I need you to, my mama would write a whole new set of problems for me to practice on, because she would say, this is where you made your mistake. This is what we're going to do. But those were the roles. And on the weekends, when my dad was at his full-time job, his second job, my mom would do the heavy soul food cooking and the making sure our clothes are washed and ready for the week to make things easier for my dad. But it's definitely shared responsibilities in my household with my mom and my dad. And I was raised by both my parents.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about, right?
Okay.
You feeling all right?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Look, we right there. So, do you have any siblings?
I do have siblings. I have an older brother and I have a younger sister.
Okay.
We are all 5 years apart.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Even.
Okay. None of them went to high school together.
We all not together.
Yes.
But the same high school. Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like the middle child?
I am definitely the middle child. Now they would what they tell you that I was the middle child. I am the typical middle child. I ain't gonna lie. Okay. I'm the middle child. Okay. I was the worst child.
Do you feel like the most responsible as well?
Okay. How am I gonna answer that without my brother kicking my butt? Let me see.
You already answered it.
I did. I'm gonna say that I'm definitely very, very responsible, but I am the family business taken care of. I'm the family ass kicker. Like, my sister is very chill until you push her. My brother is completely chill and passive. I'm the one that's like, what's up? Who we fighting? I'm the business business taker care of. Does that make sense? You know what I'm trying to say. I'm the one that's gonna handle it. I'm handle the business. I'm that sibling.
We got you. So, what was your first sense of responsibility?
I'm gonna say being taught responsibility by my parents. It was probably like, while my parents were doing the whole 2 jobs things, I had roles as a big sister to make sure that things were done for my little sister to help the family. Everybody had a job in our household to make our household run. And so I can say that probably my first sense of like, oh, wait, shit, this on me. I got a little responsibility. Probably when my mom showed me how to use the washing machine and the dryer. Like, hey, I'm gonna need you sometimes. We went to private school at one point.
All right.
This is when I got kicked out of public school, but that's another conversation.
Okay.
So, but because to make it easier, my sister had to go too. So you're like, damn, what? How I get in this? She got in trouble and here I am. But we had uniforms that we had to wear. And because the uniforms were super duper expensive, my mom was like, I ain't buying 5 shirts and 5 skirts and 5 shorts for each of y'all for every day. So you had 2 or 3. Learn how to use the washer and dryer. You have to wash your uniforms. You got to wash your sister's uniforms and make sure the pleats are in your skirt. Because if the pleats weren't in your skirt, then that was a violation of the dress code of the school. So I learned how to do all of that and do it for my sister too to make sure we were good to go for the next morning.
Wow.
Yep.
What age was this again?
I see. I got kicked out of 6th grade. So I had to be 7th grade. So I had to be about 11 or 12. I started school early, so I'm a year behind ahead. So I was in the 7th grade for sure. So my sister was in the 2nd grade.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to you. Y'all are tuning in to the makings of you. To be more specific, the makings of Ridgemont4sFinest here with Everythang Culture. Thank y'all for listening and watching. So, you have responsibilities in the household.
Mm-hmm.
If you did not do those responsibilities, how were you redirected or disciplined?
Depends on what ironing of the clothes and stuff like that. Hey, you know what you gotta do. You need to do ABC. It was a stern talking to by my mom, stern talking to by my dad for things like that. But other redirections when it was my fault, because again, typical middle child. Yeah, you gotta get this come to Jesus real quick.
Okay. I read your life. I feel you. I hear you. I don't know if anybody else does, but we hear you.
You know what it
right
is.
Here. We right here. So you mentioned your education and a little faux pas that you may have had in the 6th, 7th grade.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about your education so far in life?
Traditional education or life education? Okay, it's however I want to answer the question. Let's see. I had a great public school education. I did not have the public school experience that unfortunately some of our kids are having right now. And those of you who don't know, by trade, I'm an educator. I've been in the education game 23 years. I did not have the experience that these kids are having now. I did not have the experience that as a teacher I'm having now. I had a great upbringing in the education system. I felt like I always had great teachers. I always had strong Black teachers. That was probably one of the best things about my educational experiences because of those specific teachers and the specific schools I went to, Ridgemont Elementary, Crystal McCullough Middle School, the Willow Ridge High School. There were always educators that gave a damn. So there was no slacking. The expectation was greatness. That was the standard. And so having teachers like that is what, I feel like made me the educator that I am today. Now, unfortunately, where we are in the education system, you can't really hold those same standards anymore, but those are things that are systemically above me. But education-wise, great. Education given to me by my family, even better. Life lessons, life things. So many great life lessons from my parents that allowed me to be a great parent, allowed me to be a great person. And, just very fortunate. I just keep going back to just that fortunate upbringing that I had. So,
absolutely. Thank you for sharing, too.
Oh, no doubt.
So, I'm Southern. It's part of my culture. I hate this question. You can say what generation you're part of. I always feel like my grandparents are on my back.
I know what you about to ask. About to say, what you about to ask her?
You mind sharing your age
I
with
am
us?
41 years old.
Oh, okay.
I'm 41.
What's your sign?
I'm a Libra.
Libra.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you so much
No
for sharing. Okay. I got to get that off me. I
don't ever have a problem telling my age.
Okay.
Never.
All right. Some folks, my last guest was like, hey, they didn't share. I respect it.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of my duty for my audience to ask these questions.
No problem.
So, what were and what are your beliefs?
What were my beliefs and what are my beliefs? I don't know about the were, but what are my beliefs right now? I believe my number one belief in life is just being a good person. I believe that if you're a good person, great things are going to always come to you. Again, being an educator, I believe in doing right by children. I do not play about children. If you've ever encountered me as an angry teacher or teachers that have encountered me as an angry parent, I do not play about children, whether they're mine or somebody else's, because I just believe that's the number one way that universe come back on you when you mess over children. I believe in hard work. I believe in, you want to hear one of my other strong beliefs? I believe that Black children have the right to grow up privileged in privileged environments. I do believe in the silver spoon for Black children. I think it's something that they can attain. I don't believe that because we were raised one way, we should make our children go up the same way because it builds character. I do not believe that at all. I believe that they should be afforded all the things that we were not afforded. And yeah, I have a whole lot of lists, but we'll stop right there.
And we love it. Thank you for sharing. Once again, this is the makings of you.
Okay.
So we you rocking. This your show.
I
okay.
got you.
Okay. So who has been the biggest influence in your life?
Ooh, I have to pick one.
This your show. You pick.
Okay. First of all, of course I'm gonna say my mama. Of course I'm gonna say my mama, because my mama was the epitome of what a woman, a mother should be. I'm gonna say also my dad, because the standard was set, again, having the upbringing that I had with my parents. Now, and I say spoiled and entitled, and I say privileged upbringing. I don't want the people to misconstrue that as being, I had this pretty princess life, and my daddy didn't yell at me. No, both my parents got on my ass.
Yeah.
So it definitely wasn't that. But the standard was set as far as this is what a man should do. This is what, this should look like. Being afforded a lot of the opportunities that I've been afforded, there's very little that a man could say to me that'll make me be like, nah, I'm good on that. I'm not accepting that, because I already know what the standard looks like. Yeah. Yeah, mama, daddy, influential. I can even give a spiel about my children, because I have 3, and each one of them are their own little different personalities. They're influential to me in their own different, little different way. Yeah. I say my principal. I have the principal that I currently work for. I feel like she's another great example of what it means to be an educator, a lead that's about the children. I've worked for a few principals, but this one right here is something special about her. And we always kind of joke and say, man, I'm gonna be like you when I grow up. But as far as she's concerned, I mean that, because if I ever were to tap dance and be a principal one day, which they probably would never let me, I definitely want to be the type of leader she has. She definitely has a servantship leader style. So
love that. Thank you. So what are your passions and how did you get into them?
Well, as stated earlier, education definitely is one of my passions. Educational advocacy is one of my passions as well. I got into education. I've always wanted to work with kids. I've been working with kids or in the school system since I was 17 years old. All of my paychecks, with the exceptions of little side hustles that I've done since I was 17 years old, have come from an ISD. Yeah. So this is what I've been doing for forever. Educational advocacy, I can say that I got into that, and she's going to kill me when I say this, but when I first started, I'm going to say I left Fort Bend, I went to HISD teaching. This had to be in about, my son is 22, so it had to be in about 04, maybe 03, 04. I was teaching at this school in South Park, this middle school in South Park, and I was a special education teacher. And I had a mentor, my mentor teacher. When you first get into education, they assign you a mentor that's supposed to walk you through the A's and the Z's of education, what not to do. Well, special education, you really have to have a mentor, because that paperwork could cost you your license and your freedom if you do something wrong. So, yeah. Okay. I always used to tell people, I ain't going to federal court behind y'all messing up special education funds. Those are federal funds. But my mentor was Megan Thee Stallion's grandmother. And Megan was one of my students, but she's my mentor. And to this very day, I talked to her. We talked the other day, because every time something goes wrong, or I have an opinion about something, or I have a question about something, as far as paperwork goes, as far as 504 law or special education law goes, I call her. And I remember sitting in art IEP meetings with her, and art IEP meetings where advocates would come in, and how she was so calm and so passionate about what she did. Even sometimes when the meetings got heated, she still maintained this level of professionalism, going back and forth with the advocate, but always for the best interest of the child. Sometimes advocates come into these types of meetings, and you think it's automatically them against the school. type of thing. But she always represented the best interest of the child. And I just remember sitting back in the meetings like, damn, this lady is good. Like knows special education law in her sleep. And so that is what made me be like, I'm going to be like her. I'm going to be that person that, informs kids of their educational rights. Lets parents know their educational rights. Because sometimes they don't know. And it's a matter of reading. It's a matter of comprehension. It's a matter of somebody just sitting down, talking to them, explaining stuff to them, taking the time, like we talked about another day. Yes. So I just remember being like, yeah, I'm gonna be like her. And so even to this day, I'll call her and I'll be like, hey, what you think about blah, blah, blah? And she'd be like, baby, that's her favorite line. Baby, let me tell you something, baby. And she'll tell me, they need to do A, B, C, D, and this is what you need to do. So still, years later, I'm going to call her if there's an issue with something. So, yeah, definitely her.
Okay. That's what I love, for real. With you doing your platform, Ridgemont4sFinest, y'all make sure to tune in.
Thank you.
It's really sharing to people people may speak over them or use legalese, we can say.
Yep.
And so thank you for doing what you're doing.
No problem.
Again, that is truly a passion.
Thank
you.
Definitely.
You share every day.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yes.
So thank you.
Thank you.
So we need your recommendation.
Every time you do this, I'd be like, oh, shit, what's coming next?
Be cool, relax.
All right.
I'm Drake.
Recommendations. What we recommend?
We need your 3 recommendations. We need a book. We need a television series, and we need a movie. Can you give us your 3?
Does the book, is there a specific genre? Is there a specific audience that I have to go to? It's my show. You keep saying that. A book. So because my passion is education, a part of my passion for education is literacy in Black kids, specifically Black boys. I'm always recommend books for those reluctant readers that may be young African-American men. I'm going to always recommend anything Jason Reynolds, Kwame Alexander. One of the favorite books that my students love to read as a request every year is Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds because it deals with choices. And for those who may not know what Long Way Down I'm going to give y'all a brief synopsis of Long Way Down. It basically kind of ties into the code of the streets, right? The code of the streets say there's no snitching, there's no crying. And then if somebody kills somebody that you love, you get them back. And so the book kind of covers a 15-year-old kid whose brother is murdered in the street and that he has to make a decision within 60 seconds to enact the rules, the code of the streets, the 3 rules. But in that 60 seconds of the book, he goes through, how can I say it without spoiling? He meets people along his journey that try to tell him why you should not continue this cycle. This is what could happen if you continue this cycle. But because it's always been ingrained in him that this is the code of the streets. Like my mama did it, my daddy did it, my brother did. Like this is just what we live by generationally. And culture. And there's a good line in the book that I love. And it says something along the lines of the rules were not taught to us. They were just given, or the rules just are. So nobody specifically says, hey, you have to do A, B, C, D. It's just something that has been handed down. It says the rules have been handed down like beef. Just something that just keeps getting handed down like a hand-me-down t-shirt. But these are the rules. And so anyway, I love it because it deals with choices. And of course, I teach 8th grade for those who may not know. We have so many choices that these young men are faced with every day. And so I love the book because it gets you to talking about different things. You can spin off and talk about all kinds of stuff. And kids who hate reading, kids who have never wanted to pick up a book, come in like, Miss, we about to read the next chapter today? I'm like, nah, not today. Nah, Miss, we got to read it. We'll do the work later. So I'm like, okay. So anyway, I went on a tangent. That's the book. TV shows, I'm crime documentaries all day long. So anything that got something to do with a wife setting her husband up, killing the husband for the insurance money, that's my jam.
Okay.
In my pastime, I can lay in the bed all day and watch Dayline NBC. I can watch Narcos all day. I'll start with season 1 of Narcos and watch it all the way to season 3. Okay. Then I'll start and watch Narcos Mexico and do the same thing. You said book, yes. TV show, and you said movie. Yes. Not really a movie person because I spend so much time watching TV shows, but I watched The Equalizer 3 last night.
Me too.
Man.
And
it was good. So when I watched 3, it made me say, I'm going to go back and watch 1 and 2, which I should have watched 1 and 2 first before I watched 3. So that's what I did last night. I was like, man, Denzel did his thing. So if you have not watched The Equalizer on Netflix, no free advertising, by the way, but go check that out. Denzel did his thing.
Start at 1. All of them good. 2 is all of them good in their own separate spaces. Okay. Yeah. But 3, 3, Denzel be like, just leave me alone.
I'm just trying to
leave the people alone.
Man.
If I get activated, it's a wrap for everybody.
Denzel. But now you made me think about something. I want to go back to the TV shows because I'm going to say, like, I love me some The Wire. Classic TV. Oh, classic TV. You better not say what I think you're going to say because I'm going to pull your culture, your black card. What you about to say? I know you're not going to say you've never seen The Wire before.
I always say I don't believe in the black card here. Everything
Pull
culture.
it.
We believe in black credit. Now my credit score may drop a little bit.
Pulled.
I'm going to watch it. I want to make it special. I'm going to do it all on TikTok. We're going to watch it together.
I don't even want to have this conversation.
We're going to watch it together.
But I'm going to say.
Snowfall.
Okay, so I'm going to say
that was
Snowfall.
great.
So let me say this. The Wire, The Shield. People be sleeping on The Shield. But I'm going to say, now my credit may drop a little bit, but I'm going to say The Shield and The Wire like neck and neck as far as good cop TV. See, you ain't never watched The Wire, so you don't know. They like neck and neck.
I usually be avoiding them type of dramas, but it's your thing though.
Man, listen.
We just talked about what I did for work, okay?
Yeah. but the Wire, The Shield, anything Law and Order, I'm in there. So I got a lot of TV stuff.
Hold on. I gotta ask this. It's
right.
off the script. But did you watch the Mommy, Dad, and Dearest?
With Gypsy?
Yes.
Yeah, I see it all Gypsy crazy ass stories.
I got into that because when I watched it on the documentary,
the HBO documentary,
when I was flipping channels and I saw that, I was like, this remind me of my job. That's the first thing. It was a cousin being interviewed. This is like I was interviewing him myself.
Yeah.
And that's how that crazy stuff be like that. But, y'all, we got, what's the name of the book again?
Jason Reynolds' Long Way Down.
Long Way Down. We have
all the crime cop TV shows.
All that. And then we have the Equalizer. 3, but all of the Equalizers.
All the Equalizers.
Did you watch John Wick?
I did. Okay. I did watch John Wick.
I want them to somehow link up together one day. But that's just dreams and hopes I have.
So the last John Wick, True Confession.
I ain't watched it. I'm
not going to tell you what it's about. I'm just going to tell you that I fell asleep in the movie theater on the last John Wick. I'm going to just say that.
Okay. I needed to hear that. Thank you.
It may have been a me thing, but I'm just saying.
Okay. Well, we're back to you.
All right.
On to our next question. If you had a phone and this phone had a certain type of technology where you can call any 3 people and these 3 people have to have a conversation with you, use your imagination. Who would you call? Who would be your 3 folks you'll call?
Number 1, I would call Marshawn Lynch because that's forever bae. Like, I love him so bad.
We respect Marshawn.
So very bad.
Marshawn.
Hey, Marshawn. Hi. I would definitely call Marshawn Lynch. I would call Tabitha Brown.
We love Tabitha.
Oh, Auntie Tab, the energy is just so, Auntie Tab, the energy is so amazing. And the 3rd person I would call would probably be, this is going to sound so cheesy. Probably Jasmine Sullivan or Marsha Ambrosius because the songwriting, the stories. I feel like we could have some good old conversations about some life lessons. So those will probably be my 3 folks.
Okay. We rock with it. Thank y'all. Thank you. Once again, y'all are listening to the Makings of You, the Makings of Ridgemont4sFinest here with Everythang Culture. And we're on to our next question.
All right.
So, what has been an impactful moment in your life?
So many impactful moments. I could narrow one down. I'm going to say possibly when I was a finalist for Secondary Teacher of the Year in my district, which is a shocker because I am who I am. And if you know who I am, you know who I am. And so I won teacher of the year from my campus. And so then just found out that I was nominated for the district. I was like, they trying to play with me? Like, it was impactful to me because it was like, oh, somebody's listening, somebody's inspired, somebody's moved. So, and I'm still employed for now. So, that was a pretty amazing moment because I'm like, oh, maybe somebody is listening. Maybe, kids are, and I can always say, as an educator, impactful moments happen all the time. Being a teacher, especially being good at what you do. And like I said, I'm an empath, I'm a people person. So I treat kids with respect because I believe that kids are deserving of respect. I'm not one of those comply, do what I say. I'm the adult, you the kid. I'm not that type of person. So impactful moments to me could mean like little stuff that's major, right? I'm gonna give you a quick example. The other day, this was Thursday, we took our kids on a field trip. And our kids go on a field trip to, like, I'm going to call it a junior college that has trades that tell the kids, hey, these are trades in case you don't plan on going to a 4-year university. You can come to this school while you're still in high school and get a trade and graduate with a certificate or of some sort. And if you want to go to college, you have a certificate so you can make some money while you're in college. And if you don't want to go to college, you can take the certificate and go out into the workforce. And so we're on tours because the school has like 15, 20 different trades. All right. So we're taking the kids in rotations on the trade. And so we get to the barbering, the cosmetology department.
Okay.
And I see one of my former students. He's like, Liz. I'm like, yo, what's up? We're talking. And I remember this kid being a phenomenal football player, like one of the probably best running backs we got in the greater Houston area. And I remember a conversation being had that kids that wanted to play sports were having to choose between playing their sport and going to the trade program because you couldn't do both, because a lot of the times that they had to go do like their practicums, their internships ran into the times that they would have to be at practice or ran into game times. So a lot of kids that wanted to do like cosmetology or the kids that wanted to do body shop or auto mechanics, because the program has all these things. Well, think about your car dealerships, right? If they had to go intern at a car dealership, what are the hours? Your car dealerships, most of them close at 5 o'clock. Yeah. The body shop, the service part, right? So Texas football, you practice until 7 o'clock at night. So you can't be at work if you got to be at practice. So these kids were having to make a choice. And so when I saw him, I was like, oh, damn, he gave up football. That's my first thought. Like, I know this boy didn't give up football. And so he's talking to me. He said, guess what? I said, what's up? He said, I got my first official visit next week. And I said, congratulations. But I was gonna say, how the hell you do that? So I said, where you going? And he said, West Point. I wanted to cry so bad. I was like, man. So I said, how you still play? I thought you had to give up football. He said, who told you that? And so I'm explaining to him about the program. I said, well, my understanding of the program, blah, blah, blah. He said, oh, well, yeah, you're right. But they made an exception for me because I came in extra hours and then they had to do like some odd 200 something odd hours to get their certification for the state or to be eligible to sit for the test or something like that. And so he said I came in and did extra hours. I came in on the weekends. I came in and did all my extra time so that I could keep playing football and still get my barber license. And I was just like, West Point. Like I still got videos on my phone of that boy being a goofy class clown, just having a good old time as a little bitty old 7th, 8th grader. And this was finna go to do his first official visit at West Point. And what was so amazing to me about that is that, and I talk about this often on my platform, is the politics that go along with Texas football, Texas high school football, Texas, hell, sports in general. This is just a shit show with sports in Texas. So political. These, some of the most important, influential people in these kids' lives do them so bad and so dirty. And this baby was one of the babies that had to move schools because he fell into a system where, people didn't have his best interest at heart. I'm gonna just say that. And so to hear that, despite all of that, despite those people trying to do me bad or do me over, like I'm finna go on a visit to West Point. So, impact.
Yeah, wow. An upcoming season, that's going to be the discussion, sports. We'll talk sports in Texas. Woo! But we ain't talking about that right now.
Okay.
We're talking about you.
Because I can talk about that all day, but go ahead.
We'll come back to it.
Right.
That's what we do in this, but this is all about you right
Okay.
now. So, with our next question, Ridgemont4, what's your theme song?
What you mean, what's my theme song? Where am I from?
Hey, I know where you're from, but
If you ask any person here what their theme song is, my principal asked that on the spreadsheet at the beginning of the year. If you were to walk in a classroom or walk into a room, what song would you want playing? And you better be playing the Mo City Dawn. What do you mean?
Okay.
Like, of course.
I had to be for sure. Okay.
Okay.
I'm from East Texas. And let me tell you, the way my folks, where I'm from, ride for the zero.
The row.
Timothy, let me say Timothy
McVeigh.
Yeah, I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm telling you, grew up on them. Well, that's a whole discussion in the future, talking about music and culture and how it impacts us in reality. But Mo City done.
Of course.
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Got you. So, how do you define joy?
Man, the women of the world are gonna come for me when I say this, but because they always tell us we shouldn't tie our joy up in our children, but I'm gonna say in my kids. And how I define it is smiles, man. Something so crazy and so simple. Each one, like I said, I got 3 kids. I got a 22-year-old, a 22-year-old son, a 17-year-old son, and a almost 14-year-old daughter. And if I'm in the back room or the house or in the office, which is in the very front of my house, working, and they're all like at the kitchen table playing dominoes is their thing, right? My oldest son and my baby girl, domino kings and queens, like them the ones you're gonna take to the cookout and they're gonna cuss somebody out. It's gonna go down behind some dominoes.
They like that.
My middle son, he's a middle child. He's like kind of like me a little bit. Like, I'm just here. I don't really know what's going on. I'm just here to listen to the conversation and enjoy the good time. But when they're talking to each other, and my daughter, I tell her this all the time, she has the happiest laugh. And it's I don't even know how to describe the laugh that she has, but every time I hear her laugh, even if she's on the phone talking, it's such a hearty, genuine laugh. It makes me happy because it makes me be like, my daughter is happy. My kids are happy. So just to hear them, the camaraderie between them, and not to say they don't have their moments, because baby, they got their moments as siblings. But if I'm in there working, if I'm in my room laying down, I got my door open and I hear them just engaging in conversation and discourse, and they're laughing, like that makes me so happy, because it's like, it's joy, because I know a lot of kids don't get to have peace and joy in their household. So to know that I'm creating an environment where my kids are comfortable and they're happy and they're joyous, that's joy.
That's beautiful. That's amazing. Whew, wish I had a little bit of that growing up.
Okay.
No, but it's beautiful. Seriously. In what areas in your life do you need to heal?
Do I need to heal? Damn, it's gonna be crazy for me to say like I don't need to heal, because that's not human, right?
Hey, the show's thing.
But again, I never experienced anything traumatic as a child. I didn't have a negative upbringing. I don't have anything negative that I say I need to heal from. Do I have a disdain for systems and certain people and positions in systems? Absolutely. Do I need to heal from it? Nah, I feel like I need to go harder, because I need to rid the system of people like that. And my principal jokes all the time and says, you got to get over some of this stuff. And I'm like, nah, I'm not getting over none of that, because as long as we got these people and these structures in place, these kids are never going to get to have the experience that I had as a student in the public school system. So, damn, I think that's the only thing. Like, I hate to say it. And I'm going to tell you a story real quick. I know we're going to get off topic.
I will switch it for you.
Okay.
And what areas in your life you want to improve?
Okay, we can do that.
I'll do that for you. I don't do that for
you. Don't do it for everybody. Improve. I can definitely say I probably should be a bit more. No, I'm not even gonna lie and tell you that. I was gonna say I should probably be a bit more empathetic and understanding to people that need to be educated. But I'm not gonna lie and tell you that, because I feel like everybody can go be educated. I'm sorry. I'm not even gonna lie to you. What areas I need to improve
we share
on?
That same struggle.
Okay.
We share that same
struggle. I can tell you something like my big back ass needs to put away from the table. I can tell you all of that stuff like that. But as far as when it comes to what I'm passionate about, like, nah, now improve. Okay, I am going to say this. If you mess over a kid, I'm coming full force. And I probably should tone that down a tad bit on the professional side. Being a teacher that's also a parent in the same school district. And dealing with people who I know are not doing right by kids, but then they try one of my kids. I don't come in, the bitch is coming up out of me. Then I'm like, oh, wait, these people sign your paycheck. You got to come back a little bit. So do I need to be a bit more cognizant of that? Probably. But do they need somebody foot on their neck? Absolutely. So maybe one day.
Balance.
Maybe.
Keep doing what you're doing. Though.
Thank you.
Keep doing what you're doing, for real. So our next question.
Okay.
Who represents your community of support?
Man, what type of a question? I'm going to say my mama again. And the only reason I'm not saying my dad, because my dad passed away about 2 years ago, but I'm still saying from the depths of the universe, my dad still. Yeah. But my mom for sure, because man, my mom retired last year. Yeah, it's been a year.
Congratulations.
Mom retired finally, right? Mom retired last year. Mom is doing her. Mom is living life. But man, if I say, like the other day, my mom would laugh because she cracked up. She said, "You've been a pain in my ass since the day you came on this earth." And my mom and I share a birthday. I was born on my mom's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
And so she says that, like, you've been taking over my life since the damn day you got here. But I was busy at work, and my mom was like, she's on it with the kids as far as like, medical appointments and things like that. She said, "Hey, 6 months is coming up. The oldest one, his insurance is going, he turns 22, so he's going to fall off your insurance. It's dental, coming up. And the other two, it's time for their 6 months." So she helps me keep track of those things like that. And I'm like, "Okay, Mom, I'm a call the dentist." She's like, "Well, don't use this dentist because I don't like this lady." And something I'm like, "Hey, Mom, well, you got to find the dentist. I ain't got time. I'm teaching. You calling me about this, but I'm at the board teaching." And so my mom will stop and make appointments for me. If I cannot take off work, but the kids need an appointment, my mom will come get the kids, check them out of school, take them to their appointment, bring them back. My kids, we all had braces at one point, so like a quick little 15 adjustment. Mama would come do that, do whatever. But things like that. Oh, and even cook, like she'll cook 2 meals a week, 1 to 2 meals a week for myself, my sister. My brother lives in Virginia, but that's to alleviate some of the stress. And my sister's an educator as well. But that's just to alleviate some of the stress because my kids play sports. My daughter's AAU season right now, so getting into the club sports. And I can leave the house sometimes at 6:30. Well, hell no, she had to be at practice at 6:30 in the morning for school practice. And then we leave there and go to club practice. So sometimes I leave my house at 6. I don't get back home till 9:30. So my mom's house is literally 2 minutes from my school. So I know that she was like, "Hey," like the other day, smothered pork chops, collards, rice and gravy. She's like, "Hey, I made dinner." So, and when she makes it, she making it to where we can eat that night and we're going to have lunch the next day. But what does that do? That takes stress off of me having to figure out what we're going to eat for dinner, having to figure out what we're going to eat for lunch. So 1 to 2 times a week, she'll do that. And so I think that's support. I'm also shout out quickly, a village of homegirls. You always hear Black women talk about friends and how, women jealous, women haters, women ain't this, women ain't that. If you want to talk about female friends in a village, I got a village of football moms. We've been friends since our boys been playing Little League since they were 4 years old. I got a village of teacher friends. But my village of football mom friends, when I tell you there's nothing that they will not do for me, my kids, and there's nothing that we won't do for each other's kids. That's definitely a village. When my father passed away, the repast, they didn't come to the services because we did a quick service. So we don't believe in any of that. That's a whole nother conversation. But at the house, they were at my house preparing the food, cooking the food, serving my family because the repast was at my house, serving my family. That just things like that are very simple to some people are major because they took off work to stay there and do that for me and make sure that everything was good, make sure everything was cleaned up. Afterwards, going to check on my mama, make sure my mama was good because my mom and dad have been married for 40 some years. So things like that, I think that's support. That shows up as support.
Absolutely. Wow. Woo, how you feeling?
I'm good. I'm great.
Now, was this too difficult for you, anything?
This was not difficult at all.
You see what I mean? I'm over here all scared.
I wasn't scared. Never scared. I was like, what you got on that paper?
Okay. when did you realize you were different?
Damn. Who I am now is who I've always been as a child. The rebellious one. The I'm gonna talk up when something is wrong. I would get in trouble for that. That's why my ass got kicked out of school. I'm a talk. I'm a just do that. So I realized that probably 9-10 years old that I had a mouth and I was gonna talk. I was gonna do it sometimes within reason and within respect, but I'm gonna get it off my chest. If I see something wrong, I'm gonna speak up on it. Now the downside of that is that I'm raising a little me.
Welcome.
My daughter is a clone. And sometimes I'm like, what they say, you want to beat the shit out of you? Like, I'm raising me, girl, I'm going to slap the me out of you. Like, you were tripping, but different. And I realized that about her probably when she was about 5 or 6. I'm like, oh, shit, here we go. I saw me and her that early. So I'm going to say for me about 9-10.
Reason I want to have a daughter for my wife. So she knows she putting me.
It ain't for the weak.
And her father.
It ain't for the weak.
All right. Love it. Love it. Okay. This is a would you rather.
Okay.
Okay. Would you rather go back in time and speak to your younger self? Or would you rather for your future self and come and talk to you now?
Oh, I'd rather go back and talk to my younger self. Because, baby, I did some shit. And I wish the me now could go tell the younger me, girl, first of all, it's going to be okay. Second of all, don't you do that shit.
What age? What age would you go to?
Oh, man, I got a couple of stages in my I got a couple of stages in my life I could go to. I would probably, let me see, when did I get pregnant with my son? I think I was 17, 18 years old when I got pregnant. I was in college, U of H, the University of Houston. And remembering like, oh shit, life is about to be over. Life is about to be over. How am I finna tell my parents that? My parents paying for college. All right, well, I done went and got a basketball player and then didn't have too much fun with the basketball player. What am I finna do? And the me now could go back and tell that 17, 18-year-old, hey, chill out. You gonna be good. You gonna be good. Your kid gonna be good. My kid is great. Kid make more money than I do. He's finna be 22 next month.
Bless.
Good kid, just good. So I go back and say, don't trip. Like, you straight. You gonna be good. Wow. He gonna be good. We gonna be good.
Wow. I love that. Woo. Okay. We rocking. We got a few more questions.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay. You do a lot.
I do a lot.
So how do you relax?
Dateline. Narcos, Dayline, Narcos, snacks, man. I can eat. And that's my relaxation and doing as much as I do to go to my bedroom and be left alone in peace. I'm talking about phone on do not disturb. Kids, y'all good, don't bother me. This is my moment of decompression. With some hot Cheetos and some popcorn. With the little cream cheesecake little snacks.
Oh,
I don't say their name, but you know what I'm talking about.
Busting, though.
They got a little crumble on the top. Man, listen.
We right there.
I got a little, it's so fat. I got a little fridge in my room, really mainly for waters and stuff, because I don't like getting up and walking to the front of the house to the kitchen. But yeah, I go to the grocery store and I put those in the back of the fridge behind like the non-flavored sparkling waters, because my kids will come in and be like, what mama got up in this fridge? Because I don't buy juice. So they come in and be like, let me see what she got up in here. I got to hide that good stuff back there.
Juice giving y'all cavities. Y'all don't know that.
Drink water, Gatorade, and milk.
Okay, we rock with it. Okay. So that leans into my favorite question of the show. Okay. One of my favorite questions. If you can have any meal at the snap of your fingers, at any time, you get it. What would it be the meal and who would prepare it for you?
I have to pick one? Okay, you said I could do whatever I want to do. All right, bet. Here we go. 10-piece wings, all flats. Okay? Extra hot sauce. All right? Who will prepare them? My son. Oh my God. That boy can fry some chicken. Ooh, I'm about to make him fry some chicken now. So, that definitely him.
You about to snap the fingers.
The fingers, that fried chicken, extra ranch, extra hot sauce. Steak. ribeye, preferably ribeye, who were making my dad. My dad used to make the best rib eyes with this gravy. He would always mix like rice or potatoes, whatever he would cook. But then he would always do like carrots and peas because he like, I don't eat carrots and peas to this day because I'm like, oh. But I better not get up from that table until I ate them carrots and peas. But definitely would say that. My mom, man, I could say a lot of stuff for my mom. But like shit, like we had them pork chops the other day. Or my mom makes some smothered chicken or meatloaf. My sister and I just said, man, what's the next meal we're going to request mama to make? And me and my older son and my sister would say, meatloaf. Wow. Meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and green beans from my mama. My brother makes the best dressing. Oh my God. First of all, we all cook. So, yeah. Meals.
I love me some dressing.
Man, my brother, I'm had to.
Not stuffing.
Not stuffing.
You know, in the first season of Everything Culture, that was a question. Do you eat dressing?
Ooh, what is stuffing?
I found out in the worst way.
No. I don't know what stuffing is. Dressing.
Very unpleasant moment.
White cornbread. And don't make your dressing for me with no damn Jiffy because I ain't eating it.
Oh, yeah, no.
Because my people from East Texas too. Oh, it got to be the white cornbread.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that.
Talk about that later.
Oh, you must eat your cornbread with your stuff and your dressing with Jiffy?
No, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Not.
I was about to get a word. I already dropped your credit
about your people from East Texas.
Oh, okay.
You know how we get down there. I got to ask you who your people are.
Okay.
Then we going to find out. We probably related somehow.
Because I said drop your credit score some more if you said Jiffy cornbread for your dressing.
No, not for the dressing. I'm very particular.
Right.
I'm very particular.
All right.
But we rock. We rolling. We got the last few questions right here. You're in the stretch. Okay.
Made it.
So, how do you want people to remember you?
I want to be remembered as, again, a great mom, a mom that would do absolutely anything for her kids to make sure that they straight. I want to be remembered as an educator that will go above and beyond for her kids, that the standard is excellence, nothing less. The one that is going to advocate for them, right, wrong, or indifferent. Even if you're wrong, I'm going to be like, be quiet while I talk for you. You're wrong as hell, but be quiet. Shut up if you say something stupid. Let me handle this. Yeah, I think that.
No, love it. Goodness. What changes do you want to see in your culture?
Man.
I know this is the one.
This is the one. I'm going to draw, I'm going to always bring it back to education. I want us to be more involved with our children's education. I want us to read to our children. I want us to go back to that old homework. I know people like hate homework and hate that, but homework was more than a time for you to argue and fuss at your kids. Homework was bonding time. Yeah. Homework was done at the kitchen table. It was bonding time. It was that time because, like I said, my mom worked 2 jobs, so I didn't have a whole lot of time in the day to spend with her. So that extra 30, 45 minutes that she would wake us up in the morning to sit down and go over corrections and things like that, that was bonding time. So we had to leave our homework on the table. Straight square business. We had to leave our homework on the table for my mom to come home, and my mom would check our homework and tell us what corrections need to be made before she went to bed. We would wake up about 30, 45 minutes before, if there were some corrections that need to be made, and we would do homework with my mom. My mom retired as a financial officer, an accountant. My mom's an accountant by trade, and math was her thing. So if I did a math problem, we almost had a knockdown drag out about 2 and 3 digit multiplication. But if I did the problem wrong, my mom was like, okay, she needs some more practice. So, hey, I'm waking you up 30 minutes earlier. I need you to, my mama would write a whole new set of problems for me to practice on because she would say, this is where you made your mistake. This is what we're going to do. But those were the roles. And on the weekends, when my dad was at his full-time job, his second job, my mom would do the heavy soul food cooking and the making sure our clothes are washed and ready for the week to make things easier for my dad. But it's definitely shared responsibilities in my household with my mom and my dad. And I was raised by both my parents.
Wow.
Yeah.
This one I'm talking about, right?
Okay.
You feeling all right?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Look, we right there. So.
I want to see more. I made a TikTok video about this the other day. I want to see more Black dads showing up at the school board meetings. And this is not a Black man versus Black woman bash. And I'm going to tell you why I think it's important for Black dads to show up at school board meetings, because especially in school districts where the school board does not look like you and I, when the majority or all of the school board members look the other hue, but the school district or the students that they serve, majority look like me and you.
Talk about it. Disproportionality.
Very much so. It's important that we show up, even if we just show up and sit in the gallery to just listen. We got to start showing up, because once you start showing up, they're going to be like, oh shit, what's going on? Because they don't like to see us gathering, because we always got to be plotting. So they're going to be like, what's going on? What's going on? Now, and of course, if you have the courage, I want you to start speaking up at the school board. It doesn't even have to be anything that necessarily impacts your child, but understanding that as a community, they're all our children. They're all our children. And so I want parents, Black parents, to stop showing up to the school just for negativity. Don't show up because I took your son's phone. Don't show up because your child didn't do any work this whole 9 weeks and now they're ineligible to get on that field Friday night. Don't come up there cussing me out and acting a fool behind that. Come up there before that. Make sure that we have a relationship and a rapport prior to that, so he don't get to that ineligibility. And like I said earlier, I would change in our culture that concept and that mindset that our kids got to struggle because we struggled. I would definitely change that.
Thank you.
No problem.
I don't know why that got me so emotional, because I'm just thinking that's how I used to be, though.
Mm-hmm. So we had to leave our homework on the table. Straight square business. We had to leave our homework on the table for my mom to come home, and my mom would check our homework and tell us what corrections need to be made before she went to bed. We would wake up about 30, 45 minutes before, if there were some corrections that need to be made, and we would do homework with my mom. My mom retired as a financial officer, an accountant. My mom's an accountant by trade, and math was her thing. So if I did a math problem, we almost had a knockdown, drag out about 2 and 3 digit multiplication. But if I did the problem wrong, my mom was like, okay, she needs some more practice. So, hey, I'm waking you up 30 minutes earlier. I need you to, my mama would write a whole new set of problems for me to practice on, because she would say, this is where you made your mistake. This is what we're going to do. But those were the roles. And on the weekends, when my dad was at his full-time job, his second job, my mom would do the heavy soul food cooking and the making sure our clothes are washed and ready for the week to make things easier for my dad. But it's definitely shared responsibilities in my household with my mom and my dad. And I was raised by both my parents.
Wow.
Yeah.
This what I'm talking about, right?
Okay.
You feeling all right?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Look, we right there. So it's changed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was some people's upbringing, but my like you said, your mother worked 2 jobs.
Mm-hmm.
You had your father, and still, my mother was a substance abuser and had mental illness, but she still sat down with me with homework, and it made such a difference in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And even with my uncles, or they would show up, even they didn't know what. He didn't have kids that lived with him or anything, but he would still show up and be present.
That's it.
And there and see that you have a team behind you. At times, you may not have to have a lot to say, but they go see, when they see you, they see us.
And they know, that's Drake uncle. He here.
Exactly.
They know you have, because here's the thing, and we can talk about this all day. When a school system, especially a school system that's run by people that don't look like us, see that you don't have anybody that's going to come here and advocate for you, they going to fuck over your child so bad. And what you going to do about it? You ain't coming up here. The child know you're not coming up here. The child going to be too scared to even say something to you. Or if they do say something to you, they know you're not even coming. So it's pointless for them to even say anything to you. So now, I had a whole, you follow my story about my son getting suspended for defending himself in a fight, because, that's a whole nother situation. I know the principal, the assistant principals, his counselor, I know they hate me right now. And that's okay. That's okay, because when I appealed and I advocated and I wrote my letters and I did all this, I didn't do it just for mine. I did it for all the other little Black boys y'all doing the same way, because I don't play about kids. So.
We need more of you. So that's one of the big things too. So,
all right.
Ridgemont4sFinest, you did it. We got one more.
We got one more?
Pull it back.
Okay.
How can we support you?
How can you support me? That's a good question. Thank you. You can support me by first following me on social media, TikTok, Instagram, Ridgemont4sFinest. I have a podcast as well, Ridgemont4sFinest, the podcast. I'm in season 2 right now. I think we're about 32, 33 episodes deep, where we talk all things education. We talk about the disparities. We talk about the disproportionalities. We talk about special education. We talk about disproportionate discipline. We talk about as teachers, the racism that we face as teachers in the school system, the racism that we face as parents in the school system, the politics when it comes to sports and your kids. So many different topics in education that we cover. One of my most popular episodes to this date has been the episode about educarons and curriculum Karens. And if you've been following the news, we saw the death or the suicide of Dr. Bailey from Lincoln University, who was basically bullied to death.
Yep.
And so that episode where we talked about that exact same thing, like as Black women, what are some things that we have to face as Black teachers in school districts that do not look like us or that are run by people that don't look like us? What are some things that we're facing? And that was one of the main things. And so that would definitely be something that you could do to support is, go there, follow me there, support the podcast, a little $1 donation, $3 donation, anything that help production costs or help our cause. We like it. I joke and say TikTok ain't no money. And TikTok for me, because I'm not a huge influencer on TikTok, but every little penny that I earn gets poured right back into my classroom for chips and snacks and deodorant, because people don't be supplying their kids with hygiene items. The amount of water these kids go through on a daily basis is crazy. So things like that would definitely support. But support me and other educators by just being active parents in your child's education. Definitely.
That's beautiful. And thank you.
No problem.
We definitely support. Okay. And we want y'all to do the same thing. Everything culture community, our family, our supporters. You support Ridgemont4sFinest. You support us. And supporting us go a long way. We love y'all. But now, Ridgemont4sFinest, you've done it. You've did it. You've completed the makings of you of everything culture. You went through this gauntlet of questions.
Okay.
And you did it with a breeze.
Thank
Okay. And you kind of shared, some of your places where to find you, but if the people are looking for you and you're trying to be found, where can they find you? Can you drop those handles again?
Absolutely. Instagram, I am Ridgemont4s_finest. On TikTok, I am at Ridgemont4sFinest. You can also find me at www.ridgemont4sfinest.com. And then on Apple, Spotify, or your favorite podcast listening platform, Ridgemont4sFinest, the podcast. Now, we also have a spinoff podcast coming, hopefully next week. That's going to be our podcast entitled Teachers After Dark. Ridgemont4sFinest presents Teachers After Dark. And it's not anything super explicit or anything like that. This is just us breaking that stigma that teachers have to be teachers 24/7. So we come off the air, we clock out, turn our classroom lights off, lock the door, and we let our hair down and we're human, because people don't believe that teachers deal with human things. They think we're robots and that we live in the classroom. And so I know, but on here, we curse, we talk, we live life. We talk about family. We talk about divorce. We talk about marriage. We talk about all things that people say teachers shouldn't talk about. Teachers should just be teachers. So we let our hair down and we do that. So that podcast, that spinoff is coming next week.
We're looking forward to it.
I appreciate it.
Once again, we want to say thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
We greatly appreciate y'all. We look forward to having you on more in the future as well. Okay. We doing collabs. We in the city now.
I like
together.
It. We here.
And as always, we appreciate y'all, our listeners, our viewers, for tuning in, checking out with us, and being part of the family, being part of the community. Once again, I'm Drake, B. Drake with Everythang Culture. And we like to leave with our mission statement that it comes from the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., which he said once before that he believed that men hate each other because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other, and they don't know each other because of segregation. And because of segregation, we have miscommunication. So we created this platform here of Everythang Culture built on the pillars of respect, communication, and consistency, so we can get to know each other, so we can love one another. God bless, and talk to y'all later.
All right. Thank you.